Welcome back. It's still the choice on Equa Television International. Like before we went on break, we were looking at the general reaction of people. Those that are happy, those that are not happy. Like Kaduna gubernatorial candidate is saying that result is not the true reflection of the people of Kaduna State. So we will say, yeah, that one would be negative, but from the people of the side of APC, they will be like, this is a true reflection. And that's why you find jubilation, in all the camp. And then still, while we're talking about the National Assembly and the presidential election, some of the governorship, is over now, all rule leads to the court. Some still are waiting declaration, and with that, that is what is happening in Nigeria now as we speak. So we talk about thinking that election politicking is over, but politicking still is going on in some areas, like in the State House of Assembly, that results are concluded, the National Assembly, that the results are concluded. People are going up and down trying to lobby, politicking about the offices, up there, like the Senate President, the Speaker, House of Representatives, and other principal offices, in the House of Assembly. That's what is going right now.
Well, before the elections, so many expectations. After voting, people were anxious. As results were being collated and announced, people became tense. And well, so many announcements has been done cut across different states as we speak. And right now, what you expect is reactions. And before we went on the break, the governor, the APC gubernatorial candidate was saying it was not the reflection of the wish of the people. So it's rejecting the result. And we saw that played out in Nasarawa State again. And yesterday, after barely a day after the announcement of the result in Kaduna State, that's another hotspot where they were actually, there was competition, the raise of the seat of the governorship there. And then the PDP candidate Isa Ashiru says the outcome of the poll does not reflect the people's wishes. And you recall that yesterday the Independent National Electoral Commission declared Senator Uba Sani of the APC the winner of the 2023 governorship election in Kaduna State. Sani actually pulled 730,002 votes and defeated his closest rival, that's Ashiru of the PDP, who scored 719,196 votes. And then today he's saying in a statement through his media and publicity representative, yes, Ruben Buhari, that actually that is not the reflection of the wish of the people. And he's urging all his supporters and party members to actually remain calm, but they should desire, those who desire genuine leadership in the state, to remain calm and peaceful despite the outcome of the election. I think that is one thing that I think stands out for me. These people calling their supporters to remain calm. I think I saw that playing out in Plateau State as well. The APC gubernatorial candidate was calling us on his supporters. He was saying, well, they are going to reclaim their mandate in the video that went viral, but he said the supporters should remain calm. No insults, no social media attacks and all of that. I think that is very key, because in the long run, it is about Nigeria. It is about all of us. If we destroy this country, we have nowhere to run to. Even if you think you have the resources to go elsewhere, if you don't have anything to contribute to their system that is working out there, you might not find it favorable. And that is why people talk about racism, discriminations and all of that. So, well, following this announcement, what you expect, Sambo Solomon, is reaction. When you go down to the street right now, you see some people are dancing. And when you go to another part, you see the people are in their houses like they lost somebody. But at the end, like I would say, if we're going to look at it, if we're going to look at the bigger picture as Nigeria won, as Plateau State won, in all of that, then you see people being calm. But in the true sense of it, if you think the process is flooded with irregularities, disparities, and you think that that is not a reflection of the wishes of the people. You have your facts and figures. I think that is why the court is there, the tribunal. You can do the needful. We've seen cases where people that were denied their position went to court, and at the end of the day, they got it back. So if you have your facts and your figures, and you know that that seat is actually yours by true all the evidence you have, you can resort to the court. And at the end of the day, if truly going by what you have, it is, then you still get your vote, or you get the seat back.
Your mandate,
yes, so resorting to violence, resorting to threats and then intimidation or storming the street is not the right thing. So I think at this point, people should be civil and then do the needful. And again, you were talking about the Senate president position, and I know this is something that a lot of people would definitely expect. If you're talking about this general election, the 25th February general election actually has produced members of the 10th Assembly that will be going in as members of the 10th Assembly. Currently, the 9th Assembly are still on seat, and then the chief whip of the 9th Assembly, Senator Uzo Orji Kalu, actually today was saying that it is his turn to be president of the Senate in the 10th National Assembly. He's currently in the 9th Assembly, but as the chief whip. But he's saying, the 10th I should be, it's my turn. And then what usually play out is this. You know that the majority, the party that have the majority of the members in the National Assembly, like at the end of the day, they get they produce the Senate president. You get, and I think that it is going by that, that it having have the majority of members in the House. I think he's going by that, and as a member of APC, I think that's why he's saying it is his turn to be Senate president. And for some people, they will tell you, in all fairness, it should be zoned to the southeast. Even though we've seen that members, some big wigs in the APC are already showing interest. We've seen Lawan and Uzo Kalu, among others. And then for some people, tell you, in all fairness, it should be zoned to east. Because if you're thinking of Lawan, it's like, okay, the #1 seat, you're having Tinubu, the #2, you're having Shetima, and third Senate president, you're giving Lawan. When you look at it, it looks more like one-sided, something that Nigerians, I think, frown about when the present governor or the present president was actually appointing his cabinet, ministers and all of that, saying it was actually one-sided. Some parts of Nigerians were not represented, and I guess that was what led to all this agitation for recessionists, among other things. So, well, the battle, for some people will tell you, it just began. And even though some people were interviewed and asked questions, even among the APC members, they would say, oh no, nothing yet. It's too early to talk about the seat. But whether you like it or not, this is politics. But people are already going on the ground. Like, even before emerging, they had already started going out, trying to canvass support for the #3 seats in the country, talking about the Senate president. And that is why Orji Kalu, speaking with journalists, was saying that as a lawmaker representing Abia North Senatorial District, and as a member of the APC, he thinks that it would be fair for his party to zone the seat of the Senate president to the southeast, and which is his district. And he feels that, in all fairness, if it is zoned that way, it's going to favor him. But, well, what is more important beyond personal interest is, well, we hope to see representation at all levels, or we hope to see governance beyond the National Assembly, beyond going to Abuja, and we want to see impact being felt at all of these senatorial district constituency, so that we don't just have leaders that only live in Abuja and don't know what is happening in their own constituency. Orji Kalu was one time governor of Abia State, and currently chief whip, returning Senator War. We hope the needful is done at the end of the day.
Yes, that's what you see, after elections like this, particularly in the state houses of assembly and then the National Assembly. Like now, people are going around this country, crisscrossing, looking for who is a member-elect. You know, those people that are looking for this position, they follow you to your state and to your constituency, you know, congratulate you, and they start selling their self, particularly on the position that they want to occupy, so that they will gain your favor during the election, you know, in the House. And you know, this federal character issue is a very key thing, because you know how Nigeria is multicultural. We are diverse in everything. If you ask me, you know, now that we have a Muslim ticket now up there, you know, people who said, okay, what about now you will begin to see religion playing. Somebody will tell you, yes, the number 3 have to be a Christian, whether he's coming from whichever angle of whichever zone of the country. And then the last time we see how you can say a lopsided appointment and zoning, a kind of, because last time you have Buhari, you know, as the president, you have Yoruba as the vice president, then you have somebody from the north, not just north, but northwest. You understand? Yeah, that which is Lawan. And then you come to the House of Representatives, which you are expecting maybe to see an Igbo there represented, then a Yoruba again, you know, Bajabi Amila. So people felt, no, it shouldn't be like that. But some people argue it and like, okay, yes, we know it's not supposed to be like that, but we are talking about capacity, we are talking about competence. Yes, we should grow to a point whereby, you know, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, as long as you will lead the house, and then the house feel like you are the one that they want, they feel you will carry them along, you will do the right thing. Why not? And I think, you know, the fight was was so loud, thinking that, you know, that would step down. But you see him going through, like, and if you see his capacity, you see how he holds the house, you know, at a particular point you will say he have the control of the House of Representatives, because that's when you even see more of activities, like you will see like the house being a lot of activities in the House of Representatives. You know, they have the number, and then when issues come, and then they deliberate, they argue, they give their point, you know, and the rest. But he was able to manage. If you follow the history of House of Representatives, when it comes to their leadership, you know, the tussle, you know, within 1 year you will see a change of the principal officer simply because of disagreement of something, you know. But during his term, you know, this 9th assembly, you could see how he controlled the house. So I give it to him, you know, for his kind of leadership. And then they were cooperating with him. They gave him all the support that he needed, and then we will say at least he has done well. But let's just see, like you said, the 10th assembly, let's just see something different. Let's just see, even in the zoning, let's reflect.
And amazingly,
it is important.
Amazingly, rather interestingly, the 10th National Assembly that is expected is a mixture of everything.
Like one of the callers say, a rainbow.
Yes, so different parties are actually represented in the 10th assembly that we're actually expecting. And it's also worthy to note that the Senator-elect Dave Umahi is also running to be the Senate president, also indicating interest. And there are other people also that showed interest, even though it's not clear what position. That's Senator Godswill Akpabio, Senator Sani Musa, and Senator Jubril Barrow. But having looked at all of these people, and I think Orji Kalu, just by way of trying to sell himself, he highlighted the fact that he's one of the governor that former governor that didn't change his phone line, that for over 20 years is the same number that he's still using, and is the same number that he's going to maintain. And what he wished to do is that he wants to build Team Nigeria. I think he's already selling himself what some people would like him to as campaign, that what he wants to do is to build Team Nigeria, start with Team Nigeria, end with Team Nigeria. And he was talking about the fact that he schooled in Maiduguri, Borno State, and he started business in Lagos State. It spread across all state capitals. He said his first name Team Nigeria, his last name would definitely be Team Nigeria, and that as a former governor that maintained one line for over 20 years, he's going to still use it. Anybody can call him and all of that. But this is not new, because always when politicians are coming out trying to sell themselves, we hear all manner of things. What people will say, refer to as beautiful attraction, and they do that just to market themselves. Well, this is coming from him, and he said it is my turn. But I think it's left for the 10th Assembly to decide who becomes the next Senate president. That position is very key, and I hope that these senators elect, those that were re-elected and all of that, would do the needful by considering key factors that revolve around competence, capability, a National Assembly that will not just be yes sir, National Assembly, but a National Assembly that will come up with policies, come up with things that will affect the lives of the people positively. National Assembly that will see policies that will not be favorable to the people, that will kick against it. But like we hope to have a Senate president that at the end of the day, he's going to know his position, know the power of that position, and know that it's about the people. When you talk about service, it's from the heart to the people, and that is what we hope to see the number 3 position, whoever emerge at the end of the day, do. Let him not just think about some personal interest, but how that is going to unite, because like I said, the 10th Assembly is going to be a mixture of everything you can refer to as a rainbow, and so we want to see representation, we want to see impact felt in every part of Nigeria. Well, leadership is about service, and that is what we expect from every senator-elect.
Well, it is good. Their campaign is going on, consultation is going on, yes, and then them showing their interest, like you rightly said. Leadership, you know, is about service. Leadership is about service. Yes, it's good to aspire. It's good to aspire to be a leader. It's good to aspire to want to lead. But in leading, you are expected to lead well. And then leading well, that is when people will see impact. And I'm not surprised hearing Kalu, you know, contesting for that seat, because he's one person that stood against any candidate, like the presidential candidate that is coming from the east, because he don't, you know, he's about interest. He don't want the whole system to turn, so that at the end of the day it will not favor him, because he's eyeing that seat, and he know if he will maintain this status quo, at least he have an edge, because he's not the first timer, and then he's a diehard of even the president-elect. So there's this relationship even between him and the president-elect, and you know,
and that's why I say
influence.
I hope whoever emerge will not be a yes sir.
Yes sir. And that's why we are building this. We are laying this preamble, you know, so that people will have an idea of how the relationship is. But at the end, we don't want to hear a situation whereby you will lead people that they will just be a bunch of rubber stamp, that, you know, anything that comes, it will go, you know, from the executive. We want to see something different. And I believe now Nigerians will start following everything that is going on in the National Assembly.
Beyond presidency, beyond governorship, like every other position is key. And we must put our interest too in knowing who becomes who. Let's not just put our hands and say, oh, we just voted for our governor. The remaining positions are useless. They also have impact on you. We're talking about policies. They are still there yet to implement the local government autonomy and all of that. So these are the processes, like these other positions are key. So let's make sure that at the end of the day, we have the right people.
Like all of them are called distinguished, you know, and then honorable. Let's see that playing in the 10th Assembly. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We will take a break, and then our normal programs continue, and we'll still be back. Thank you for believing in Ekwa TV.